to come. The next gentleman to skate, second in his national championships, was 26th in the World Championships 2013, 16th in the World Championships in 2014.
Just coming off a personal best score at the recent Andrei Nepola Memorial Trophy, so let's hope he keeps on this high.
Well, and if he goes up another 10 places to 6th in the world, I'm sure he'll be very happy indeed. Let's see what he can do here. Taking a moment to set himself, Kim Jin Seo of Korea. Now, no quad planned here, but an axel starts, then a Lutz, then a spin, and then a combination of toe loop and toe loop.
Nice triple axel, incredible knee bend on the landing. Another with choreography by former world champion from Switzerland, Stéphane Lambiel. Double lutz, popping the planned triple. Another great butterfly entry into the flying camel. Perhaps short on rotation on the change of edge feature. He's got strong thighs, that boy, to pull off that depth of knee bend on the landing.
He wins the prize, the deepest knee bend so far in this competition.
I'm surprised that he opted to do triple tulip. Triple tulip is the combination with a relatively easy base value. Triple tulip being one of the easiest triples, but managed to do it.
Well, not so high on the technical score, but he did give it all he'd got. And my words, the depth of knee bend that we saw going into that axle and in the combination jump, quite incredible. Looks like he could almost land his jumps in a backward, what I'd call teapot. But what did you think?
I think you can tell that he's been working with Stéphane Lambiel, as I said, former world champion who's now touring with various different shows and making a name for himself as a choreographer in all disciplines, ice dance included. And I think that's going to be shown and reflected in the component marks, which should be high. Just like I said, surprised that he opted for triple toe, triple toe. Base value on that quite low. There's the axle.
Lovely start.
That was the crucial error, the double lutz instead of the triple.
Well, if he'd got his personal best that he got at the Nepola Trophy, he'd be slotting into second place here. Now watch this landing. Whoa. The foot catches, I think.
Yeah, the grade of execution won't be perfect.
Smiling. Chris always says, Chris Howard, he always says, not how you land the good jumps that counts, it's how you land the ones that aren't quite right.
Too true.
He wasn't going to give up there. He's got his jacket on. They have to put the jacket on. I don't know why. I can't understand why, because it's very hot. And they have to put the jackets on as soon as they sit down. Why is that?
To do with you can see that the Korean Federation is obviously sponsored by some of these companies on his jacket. So that's why he's got to be worn.
Is that?
Yeah, obviously you can't advertise anything in his costume. So the tracksuit then. Perhaps his training is perhaps funded by some of those companies. So.
You think?
That's my guess.
Yeah, I think. Yeah, okay, okay. Could be fun. In the meantime, he is rather warm.
Yes, I'm sweating away. Yeah.
I always think it's funny when somebody sits down and they forget to do that. They forget to put the jacket on or something. Oh.
And then the coach ushers in the jacket.
Yes, the team leader throws something at them. 62.46. Almost 10 points less than he's got in the past, so he's not too upset on the journey. Good to see the attitude. And there, confirmation of the results after this first group of men in the short program. Alexei Bychenko with a super skate in first.